Rabbi, unmute.
I don't really want
There you
to.
go. There you go. Okay.
I'm having that kind of a day. I look like an ad for curtains.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
it's a glare.
Okay,
You
close
know,
the
I don't think
curtain.
it's a good direction.
I'll
Not
close the
sure.
curtain.
Doreen, I love you.
Actually, close
We
the
have
curtain.
just, yes, close the curtains. We have just finished arguing about this for the last
We
hour.
are. There's water here. I wanted you to see the water.
I can see his little cute beard. It's a
You're
glare.
very
I can't see anything in bed. It's a
Okay.
glare.
Yes, Rabbi.
There you go. Never would have known.
That better?
Perfect. I need on that side too.
Yeah, both sides. Yeah.
Okay. I look like I'm shooting up from my puppet.
Yeah, it's like I think you need to raise something or lower your chair or raise your screen. No, the other way.
Why don't you go into your office? Oh, it's
That's
because
better.
it's too sunny.
That's better. It's
Yeah.
further
No,
away
he's-
something.
I did the same as
Yeah, no.
before.
Oh, that's better.
That's better. Yeah, much better.
Up on my shirt. Okay.
Too dark?
All right.
You want light?
No,
Oh, that's Roseanne. Hey, Roseanne, how are you? I don't
I'm
usually-
fine, Rabbi. How are
Are
you?
Okay, I don't usually identify people by their right ear. Do you wanna tilt a
Is
little
that
bit?
better?
That's much better. Oh, good. Now I feel better. Oh, goodness. Yes, perfect. Now you can see the light shining off my bald dome. Oh, my.
Sitting there.
Okay, well, what, baby?
You front of the board.
Okay. Doreen, I'm supposed to sit in front of the water. There's water.
outside. We'll wait. You
We
can't
saw the
because of
second.
the light. It's a glare which you can't see the water.
Yeah, I see. I told you it was.
I thought it'd be okay because, and the sun's on the other side, so.
But there's a glare from the window. Like if I hold on a
Okay.
second. If I
It's
shut
glare
this,
from my head.
Not now.
let me
Your
take
your
off the
background
glare.
is blurry. How do you do that?
She has a
You
green.
just like see the light behind me is a glare.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so that's why I usually do like blurry or something like that because it tends to be glare. And you can do it with the camera, the little up arrow gives you an option to do a background, blur my background.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see.
Yeah, I should be able to do that.
Yeah, the
I
up
like
arrow with the
blurry
camera.
Near the curtain.
But how come for you? Because this happens. I belong to a men's group, and frequently these guys, I don't know if they're in witness protection or what, are trying to conceal themselves, with the blurry background, or sometimes they'll do the Stan Eisen thing with having the Brooklyn Bridge in the
Oh,
background.
yeah.
When you move, it swallows up different parts
It
of your
does,
body.
because what happens is the same thing's gonna happen here, but not as bad. But when they if I put a picture behind me, it would make it worse and I would fade out. There's something,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
and not having a green screen behind you.
Yeah, they have to work on that.
That's why I do the blur a little
You
bit so that nothing gets from behind me.
Okay, well, hey, Shabbat Shalom, good Shabbos. Thank you all for joining us. Roseanne, try to look like more people. It's my line.
Can you give them a minute?
Should I give them another minute? I'll give them another minute.
Yeah, I'm not
How
sure
many
if
more
this is ready
people?
by now.
How many more people do I have to look like?
Six,
14,
because we already
15.
have three. No, seven. Seven is good. Seven. Go,
Seven?
go in the hall and say, excuse me, who's Jewish? No, Bethy is here.
Did you guys
Six.
watch the ceremonies, the Olympics?
On this floor alone, we moved to Winmore. We got Jews. You want Jews? Oh boy.
Really? I thought
Yeah,
there'd be
no
Jews here
lie.
at Palmier, but there's not.
Oh, okay.
Surprisingly.
There are several folks not of the tribe, but they're very nice. Okay. Ixnay on the Aliste, Bethy. Because it's huge. It's a bed sheet, really. I have a
Right.
love-hate relationship with this talus. I don't know what happened to the
Tallis
other. I
I'm
swiped
missing?
one from the shul. It's all right, babe. Really. I'm okay. Thank you. I appreciate
Yes,
it.
you at the time.
Okay.
Paul's supposed to go on.
Yes. Okay. Well, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Yes. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat,
Shabbat
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Oh, Doreen, I kind of disagree with you. I think it makes me look more rabbinical. or like a goat, either way. Hi, sweetie, how you
Cute.
feeling? Are you all
Hi,
better?
Sherry. Feeling better?
Like we can't,
Good.
lo shomim. Lo shomim. We don't hear you. No.
I'm
It's
just.
I heard you
unmute. There
say
we go.
once.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Oh,
I
there you
just-
go.
I
Way better than
tested
last
That's
night.
negative.
scary.
I'm
No, you
good.
look
I'm
great.
good.
A miracle.
No,
Thank
your
you.
color is good, really.
Thank
Everything
you.
looks fine. Oh, my tallis
Thank you.
has just arrived. Thank you. Here's the tallis. Okay.
Hey, a rabbi with a tallis. There you go.
This is the thing. For some time, I had not been wearing a talit at the Friday night service, and somebody complained because that's what Jews do best. Yes, indeed. And I won't say who it was, Malcolm. Okay.
Wasn't me, I
So-
know that.
Okay. Let's do something of a prayerful nature. I have to begin by saying this is my second webcast from our new digs here in Sightly Winmore or Wayne Manor, depending if I could afford Wayne Manor. Anyway, do you remember that's great line in,
There's a
the
Batman movie.
Batman movie? I can't remember. I think it was Christian Bale, and they said to him, what's your superpower? And he said, I'm rich. And yeah, that kind of did it for everybody.
Magic.
But this is a solemn time. I'm feeling hopeful as far as the people are concerned with regard to the election. I am certainly feeling much better. I have a guest rabbi here. This little rabbi came back from Israel. He was a Yored. Hello, Paul, somebody you know? Hello, shalom, shalom. And he came back with Nana. Nana, my Nana, let her rest in peace, my mother's mother, went to Israel for a Hadassah worldwide conclave. She belonged to everyone. She was everything. She was a great joiner. And she picked up this little fellow during her sojourn. And she sent us a postcard when she first landed. And the postcard, which I quote, said, it's good to be back on terracotta. So that's Latin. Her Latin wasn't really up to speed. Paul, look at that yarmulke, Paul. My God. Yarmulke's got so many menorahs. Okay. Are you audible? Is anybody audible besides me?
Everybody is.
Okay,
I
I'm
am.
glad.
Am I? I
Okay,
don't
yes,
know.
yes, we hear you,
Yes, you
sweetie.
are.
Yeah.
Everyone has got
You
their
betcha.
audio on.
You
Last
betcha.
week they all yelled at me, so you can all yell and scream and sing and blah.
That's it. We can. I
All
disagree
about-
with the Shalom Aleichem. I think it should be different tune. Okay, let's start with the Shalom Aleichem. Anyway, this week is the end of the first week of the 3 weeks. The 3 weeks is the period during which unspeakable tragedies befell the Jewish people, and yet the fact that we are sitting here talking about it gives a testimony to our strength as a people. And I love being Jewish. I wouldn't be anything else. I tried being Episcopalian for a week. No, I didn't. Absolutely not. No, I love the Episcopalians because they're so cool. They're liberal, but they're Christian. Go figure. Okay, but we'll begin with the Shalom Aleichem. I'll talk about the 3 weeks later. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Mimelech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Mimelech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Lai, 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 lai. La la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Barhuni
Shalom Malachei Hashalom
Mimelech Mimelech Malchei Kadosh Baruch Hu Zeichem L'Shalom Malachei Shalom Malachei Mimelech Mimelech Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. La 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 la. La 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 la. I big finish, sort of, kind of. Okay, well, we're not going to sing "The Sun on the Treetops No Longer Is Seen" because it's a summer schedule and the sun is still up. But this was a record setter, I think, or maybe a record breaker. 100 degrees here in sunny Coconut Creek. Yes, can you believe it? Don't be happy about this. This is not a happy thing. Do you know what happened to my car, Paul? My car didn't die, but the AC died. I had to go in and they said, you need a new evaporator. And I'm thinking, if it evaporates, what becomes of it? Going to cost me 3 Gs. You believe that? If you
Yeah,
took the car apart
very
and rebuilt
expensive.
it. Yes, yes. And I said to the guy, I said to my techie, Justin, you know him, Justin? Justin from whatever. I don't do endorsements. Nice young man, very nice young man. I said, what causes this to happen? You guys replaced my condenser back in May, and that was a warranty thing. And he goes, hey, it's Florida, right? So,
What
no, he
does that
said
mean?
the atmosphere puts incredible demands on a piece of machinery. What were you going to say, Paul?
First it's condensed and then it's evaporated.
That's right. You know what's evaporating now? My money. Okay. All right.
You
Never
have the
mind.
option.
Never. What?
You have the option of not replacing it. If you can, I would not be replacing it because I'm perfectly happy with no air conditioning.
Sweetheart,
But
I
that's
love
me.
you. Really?
Yes,
Yes.
that's
Yes, you bet.
definitely you.
And it must be very lonely in your car, except when Walter drives it and puts on the AC when the missus doesn't know. Because Walter, God bless him, comes from a very warm country to begin with. He didn't have to move to America for this atmosphere. Okay. Everybody should live and be well. I did have an experience. I drove to school and back with no AC, and I know I'm such a delicate flower. I wither in the heat. So anyway, let's do Yedid Nefesh, page 14 in the English. Soulmate love,
Loving God,
compassion's
compassion's
gentle
gentle
source.
source,
Take my disposition and shape it to your will. Like a darting deer, will I rush
I
to
rush
you
to you
before
before
your
your
glorious
glorious
presence.
presence.
Humbly
Humbly
will
will
I bow. Let
let
your
your
sweet
sweet
love
love
delight me with
be
its
with its
thrill.
thrill,
Because
because
no
no
other
other
dainty
deity
will my
will my
hunger
hunger
still.
still.
How splendid
Blessed
is
is your
your light,
light,
illumining the
illumining the world.
world. My
My
soul is
soul is
weary, yearning
waiting
for your
for your
love's
love's
delight.
delight.
Please, good God, to hear
You
her, reveal to
to
her your
your
face,
face,
the
the
pleasure of
pleasure of
your
your
presence,
presence,
bathing in
bathed
your
In
grace.
your
in
place.
She
grace.
will find strength and healing in your
In your
sight.
sight,
Forever will
ever
she
will she serve
serve you,
you,
grateful with
grateful with
all her
all her
might.
might.
Yai dai 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 dai, yada dai dai
Die,
dai
die,
dai,
die, die.
dai
Die,
dai
die,
dai
die, die,
dai
die,
dai,
die,
yada
die,
dai
die,
dai
die,
dai,
die, die.
yada dai
Die,
dai
die,
dai,
die, die,
dai
die,
dai
die.
dai dai, yada dai dai
Die,
dai
die,
dai
die,
dai dai,
die, die,
yada
die,
dai
die,
dai dai,
die, die.
yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai.
Die, die.
Dai
Die,
dai
die,
dai
die, die,
dai
die,
dai,
die,
yada
die,
dai dai dai,
die, die,
yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai dai dai, dai dai. It's a very lovely piece. It's Kabbalistic, you know, because when they got back to Israel, I see here 16th century Eretz Yisrael, Rabbi Elazar Azikri. I don't know him. Clearly, he was a Sephard. And the Sephardim were really pretty much responsible for inventing the Kabbalah as we know it. Beautiful stuff, really. Just this idea of reflecting on God's beauty as compared to the earthiness of human beings. Let's do page 15, L'chun Ranana. lechu niranina, lechu niranina, lechu niranina, ladonai, lechu niranina, lechu niranina, lechu niranina, ladonai. Nariana, Litsuri Shenu, Adma Pana Bitoda. Naria, Litsuri Shenu, Bizmirot Naliano. Lechuneranina, 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 ladonai. Lechuneranina, 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 ladonai. I have to say, this week's service, from my perspective, is going much more smoothly because I borrowed a sitter from the shul, and I may have a great opinion of my own knowledge, but I can't do the whole service with the page numbers both. So anyway, so let's go to the last three lines. Arba'im shana kut bidor la'omar am to'e levavhem vehem lo yadu drachai asher nishbati v'api. Hello, Ron. Im yevohun el menuchati. That's very nice. Beautiful piece. Why do they ever have different psalms? There are all different kinds of psalms. There are healing psalms and mournful psalms and psalms where we thank God, because bad times, good times, God is still God. That's the important thing to remember. God is always with us. And my favorite Yiddish expression, if God lived on earth, people would break his windows. What does that mean? If God lived on earth, people would break his windows.
People are angry at him.
They're angry with him, yes, because everybody on God's green earth, or whatever color it is thinking they're doing a better job than God. I myself have disagreed with the Almighty on more than one occasion, but what are you going to do? What can I do?
What have
This
you
is life.
disagreed with God about?
What would I speak with God about?
What did you disagree with him?
Oh, well, stuff that happens to people who don't deserve it. The Israelis have an expression, zemagialo. He thinks he has it coming to him. This arrives to him. But people imagine that they want a better fate than they might necessarily have received. But so much of fate is what we make of it ourselves. You know, when life gives you lemons, et cetera, set up a stand in front of the house and charge a nickel a cup. Just be sure you don't use the same cup over and over again. Okay, let's turn to Mizmor LeDavid on page 20. Mizmor LeDavid, Havu Ladonai b'nei Elim, Havu Ladonai kavod vaos, Havu Ladonai kevod shemo, Ishtachavu Ladonai b'hadrat kodesh, Kol Adonai al hamayim, El hakavod hirim, Adonai al mahim rabim, Kol Adonai ba'hakoach, Kol Adonai behadar, Kol Adonai shover arazim, Vayeshaber Adonai et arzei halavado, Vayar kidem kimo egel, Levanon v'Sirion kimo ven reimim. Kol Adonai otsev lavotesh. Kol Adonai yachil midbar. Yachil Adonai midbar kadesh. Kol Adonai yisol elayalot. Vayechasof yarot. Uvehechalo, Ulo merkavod, Adonai lamabul yashav, Vayeshev Adonai melech liolam, Adonai oz liamo yitain, Adonai yivarech et amo vashalom. Ron, let me ask you, Ron, that barometer, hygrometer, thermometer on the wall behind you, what does it have on the dials? Is it a barometer, thermometer, hygrometer? No, I can't hear you. Your mic has to be on. You have to click the mic icon. Yes. Tell me. Still can't hear. Not hearing. Continuing
Okay.
to.
Can
Oh,
you
there
hear
you
me
go.
now?
I hear you
Yeah.
fine.
It's temperature, humidity, and let's see, temperature, humidity, and weather barometer.
Weather. Barometer. I never
Yeah.
understood about barometers. What is it? Water pressure?
Pressure.
Pressure of what?
Air pressure.
Air pressure. Oh, see, thank you for clearing that up. We had one years ago, Beth and I. It was the base was genuine plastic. It looked like wood. Okay. Like a lot of politicians, they're genuine plastic, but they look like wood. Okay, page 21. L'chadoti l'krat kala, nei Shabbat kabila. L'chadoti l'krat kala, nei Shabbat kabila. Lecha dodi dodi Shabbat kabila. Lecha dodi l'krat kala. Hine Shabbat nekabela, Shamor v'zachor b'diburecha, Ishmianu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad, Ushemo echad, Shemo tiferet v'letila. Lecha, Kirby, come over here. He's not going to listen to me because I'm not mommy. Pene Shabbat nekabela. Come here, Kirby. Lecha Jodi lekra. Come on, you'll be on TV. Lecha, he's turning around. Sleeping. Kala. Pene Shabbat nekabela. Lekrat Shabbat lechuvenelcha. Ki meko abraha. Roshni edem nesucha. Mase b'machshavat chila. Lecha dodi lecha dodi lekrat kala. B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi lekrat kala. B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Very nice. Page 22, the fourth stanza. Please rise. Turn to the door, which would be opposite the door, which is the door. Okay, this is where we turn around in shul and we look in the back, we look at the back wall. And there's a reason I'll tell you. Ohi v'shalom ma'ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'tzala, toch emunei am segula, ohi chala boi chala. Lecha lecha dodi lecha dodi lekrat kala, p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi lekrat kala, p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Very nice. That was a very ruach dik. Do you know what is ruach dik? What is ruach?
Spirited.
Ruach. Yeah, it's spirited. Also wind. So you gotta be careful when they say, "Oh, he's very ruachdik." You know, he's full of hot air. Okay. Mizmor shir liyom hashabbat. Reading silently. We haven't done English readings. We should do an English reading. Talk about plants, trees. I told my students what I told you. I thought when I moved down here to beautiful, lush Florida, I would see palm trees that were anchored to the earth, because when all of your knowledge of trees comes from yeshiva, you're in very bad shape. You're not going to open your own nursery. But the point is that I was led to believe by the book of Psalms that the palm tree is treasured among trees because it grows in the desert and it sends its roots deep, deep, deep down to gather any drop of water it possibly can.
On
Because
which planet?
in Florida, when you have a hurricane, Paul, what happens to the palm trees first thing?
They bend.
Not beyond bending. Bending is, I wish they would bend. What else do
Well,
they do?
some of them topple over.
They do. They go crash, bam, boom. Where we used to live, there was this street that had no houses. It was all for decoration. It had beautiful palm trees on both sides. And when we had a hurricane, oy vavoy, everything went boom. I mean, the palm trees said, hey, we didn't read the Psalms. We don't know from this, goodbye. Okay, so let's do the last 4 lines. Tzadika tamar Yifra Yeres Halvanon Yesken Shetulim Bevet Adonai Bechatzrot Eloheinu Yahafrihu. Oh, boy. Say, I'm doing Psalms here. Eva, Teshenim, Irananim, yeah. Yashar Adonai, Tsuri, Elohav Latabo. Okay, we'll talk about Pinchas, then we'll talk about the 3 weeks. Or maybe we'll just talk about Pinchas. I don't know. The 3 weeks, I think Chabad has a certain genius for making lemonade out of lemons, and I'm sure they could find something pleasant. You can't say anything pleasant about the 3 weeks. I don't want to do Pinchas. I'll do Pinchas tomorrow. Let's do the 3 weeks. The 3 weeks are the period between Shiv Asar B'Tammuz and not Asar B'Teves, and Tisha B'Av. I remember Tisha B'Av. Thank you so much, sweetie pie. Tisha B'Av from the old Alan Sherman song. He had a song, he took Matilda, which I think was a Harry Belafonte hit, and he changed, My Zelda, my Zelda, my Zelda, she take a money and run with the tailor. Oh, why did she have to go and fall in love? I haven't seen her since Tisha B'Av. It's great. We should bring him back. We need a chuckle here and there. And it's so cheesy. You got to love it. All right. The 3 weeks, in point of fact, because these are the dog days of summer, when people rush inside to their AC because they cannot possibly bear the heat. And as I mentioned earlier, a very reliable source, that is the thermometer on Annbeth's dashboard, not Annbeth's dashboard, but rather Annbeth's car's dashboard, said it was 99 degrees. Gewalt geschrigene. What, baby? It's nothing here. It's nothing. We laugh at 99. Oh, we laugh at 105. Oh, I'm not laughing. What, Paul?
A couple of days ago, I was driving up from Fort Lauderdale, and I got to Dixie Highway and Oakland Park Boulevard. My car's dashboard thermometer read 103.
Okay, you win. This is such a merit. Like we should be plotting here. And as I told you, I can't do this with my car. Its Hebrew name is Honda Accord Sport, but son of a Honda. But I can't put it on the Cholim list. I can't put a mechanical object on the list of those entities of the shul which are currently not well. The car, it's a nice car. One thing I'll tell you about cars. My first car, I have it, a model of it on my bookcase. My little red Volkswagen Super Beetle, a Zochenweg. There was nothing super about it. It was terrible. Its specialite was dying outside the 5 boroughs. If I ever drove it outside of Manhattan, the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, or Nassau, it died on me. But what is the point? I had a point. Oh, yes. So let's do the 3-week period in summer. That begins with the fast of the 17th of Tammuz. This year, the fast of the 17th of Tammuz was July 23rd. So this is, as I can see, July 26th, and we are well into the thick of it. The 3 weeks. Why are the 3 weeks so tragic? Blame the Babylonians. There aren't really any Babylonians around. I guess the Iraqis might be considered the closest thing we have to the Babylonians, but not really. The Babylonians were a proud and ferocious race. They swept down like a scourge on all the weaker nations of the Middle East. And inevitably, Israel got caught up in the ruckus. Because why? Because Israel is a realtor's dream. Vavos, why is Israel a realtor's dream? Because most of it is oceanfront. It's one long beach. The problem is, now here I'm using my imaginary map. My imaginary map has Israel here with the familiar curve that hugs the Mediterranean. Up top, you've got current present-day Lebanon, but in those days, that was Babylonia. Babylonia owned all the real estate to the north of Israel. To the south was Egypt. Egypt was no longer the imperial power it had been in Moses' day, but they were still dangerous. I think it was the prophet Isaiah who said to whichever king was on the throne, if you depend on the Egyptians to bail you out, if you join a mini alliance of small kingdoms, Moab, Ammon, Emor, if you join a mini alliance with these kingdoms, you will lose. And you'll say, oh, the Egyptians will come and bail me out. You say, no. He says, Egypt is like a twig. It's like one of those, what do you call it? A cattail that is in the swamp. And if you lean on it, not only will it bend beneath your weight, it will also break and cut your hand. So don't trust the Egyptians in any way, shape, or form. Well, with one thing and another, the Babylonians came south and they destroyed the second temple. That was the temple, they destroyed the first temple, excuse me, I should be ashamed of myself. The first temple that had been built by King Solomon. They destroyed it, they burnt it utterly. And the whole controversy is, okay, you're telling me, Rabbi, that was Shabbat Tammuz. The 17th of Tammuz is the day on which the Babylonian catapults were able to make, sounds like a Jewish word, catapults. Catapults were able to pierce the fortified wall around Jerusalem. And on the 9th day of Av, which is 3 weeks after the 17th of Tammuz, the Babylonians conquered the city of Jerusalem and destroyed the first temple. However, that was 586 BCE, before the Common Era. However, a couple hundred years later, the year 70, we say Common Era. Our Christian friends say AD, Anno Domini, Year of Our Lord. But he's not our Lord. He's just another Jewish boy who got very big in the world. And how can you say that the Babylonians destroyed the first temple and the Romans destroyed the second temple on exactly the same day? Come on. That's pushing it. Rather, they explain, the Romans broke into the city of Jerusalem and they set the temple afire. The temple was full of wood and gold and all kinds of wonderful things. I'm sure the Romans helped themselves before they burned it. But it was set afire on the eve of Tisha B'Av, and it continued to burn even through the 9th of Av. So that's how you can do this sort of calendrical anomaly where the first temple and the second temple were destroyed on the same day. This period is known as Bein HaMetzarim, which means between the straits, S-T-R-A-I-T-S, between the fences, because the children of Israel were like a flock of sheep. They had no proper leader, and they were caught between the Babylonian anvil on the 17th of Tammuz, and hundreds of years later, the Roman, anvil and hammer, the Roman hammer on the 9th of Av. It's a terrible, terrible time, because after that, the majority of Jews went out of Israel and formed the diaspora. This is Golus. This is exile. Exile means we are far away from the land of Israel, physically and spiritually. We pray for peace so that we should be able to have some sort of congregational pilgrimage to the state of Israel, to the land of Israel, because the land of Israel is the holiest place on earth. And what is the holiest place in the land of Israel? It is the Even HaShatiyah. That is the foundation stone. It is the stone which Solomon used as the foundation stone of the Holy Temple. God created that foundation stone first when he created the universe, and that stone became, in effect, the mother of all that was created on earth. And this raises the land of Israel to a very high madrega ruchanit, a very high spiritual level. And it's very important, because how can we make cosmic lemonade out of these lemons? God takes away our people. God took the king Sidkiyahu, Zedekiah, and because he had broken the treaty of being a vassal king to the Babylonians, they first killed his sons, his children, before his eyes, and then they blinded him. They carried him off into the Babylonian exile, where he died. But all was not lost. For the first time in our history, and you can talk about history at this point, it's Torah, but it's not the Torah we read from tomorrow. Rather, it is a way of saying that even though we were separated from Eretz Yisrael HaKadosha, the Holy Land of Israel, we continued to flourish in exile. After the Babylonians carried us off, and they were very canny, the Babylonians. They took the princes, the leaders, the prophets, the teachers, all of the people whom they felt could foment a rebellion against them. And they said, if I take you out of your own country, if I kidnap you, in effect, from the land of Israel and take you to Babylonia, you're not going to rebel. Because first, it's kind of like if you're an American and an evil conqueror comes along and forces you to live in Greenland. I don't mean Greenland, New Hampshire. I mean Greenland, the country. You'd have to fight against the authorities in Greenland and then fight your way across the frozen sea until you return to your own land. So we lived in Golus, in exile, for centuries, but we were not idle. We invented the synagogue. That's a story I've told many times about the prophet Yechezkel, Ezekiel. We invented the Talmud, because now that we were traveling people, we had to have a law that was equally portable. And the Torah is in the middle. The Torah is the source of all Jewish jurisprudence. Around the boundaries of the Torah is the Mishnah, which means second Torah, but it's not. It's a commentary. And around that is Gemara, which means completion. And this is where Jewish law got its start. We are survivors. I say this all the time. I won't be able to say it on Rosh Hashanah because I've said it so many times before. But they can't wipe us out. We are invincible, even in the post-Holocaust era. Even with politicians with bigger mouths than their brains. We will survive, I promise you. Okay, so maybe I'll add a little more business to the 3 weeks tomorrow. Tomorrow is a very special day for my family. My sister and brother-in-law, Patty and Rick, of not West Palm, oh Lord, Boynton Beach, sorry about that, such a big state, Florida. They're going to come to our shul, and they're sponsoring a kiddush in memory of their beloved daughter. And I use beloved a lot, but in this case, I mean it with all my heart. My little niece, she'll always be my little baby niece. And I'll tell you the story I'm going to tell tomorrow. So if you hear it tomorrow, you'll smile very wisely and say, oh, he said it last night. I had a sneak preview, but this is the official telling. What happened was I was dating a beautiful girl from Brooklyn, Bethy. She's walking the dog. Okay, that was very important, emotional moment. Anyway, Annabeth came to spend Pesach with my family. And of course, we had the Seder. And at the Seder, we had my sister and brother-in-law and my little niece. My nephew was not yet born. And Jill and I were such great friends. She was very jealous of this interloper from Brooklyn who came to sit next to Uncle David. And so she kept coming over to me during the Seder and saying, Uncle David, I have to sit in your yap. And that has always stuck with me. And even though she's no longer with us, I like to think of her as a bright and beautiful young woman who loved to run. She skydove twice. She did that's once for her and once for me, because this is not something I do for fun. But she was a remarkable individual, and I'll have to say about her tomorrow. But thank you for listening to the App Story. Okay, let's move on. What I'm going to do is we're going to do the Baruch Hu, and I think we're minionized. So please rise, page 28. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. Leolam Voed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. Leolam Voed. Amen. All right, please be seated. Page 28. Let's read the long paragraph after the Baruch Hu. Praise to you, Adonai our God. Together. Praised are you, Adonai our God, who rules the universe.
Your
Word
work
bringing the evening dusk.
dusk.
You
You
open with
open
wisdom the gates of dawn.
dawn.
Design the day
Design
with
your day
wondrous
with
skill.
wondrous skill.
Set out the succession of
Seven of
seasons and
seasons and
arrange the
arrange the
stars in the
stars in
sky
the
according
sky
to your
according to
will.
your will.
Adonai
Adonai
Tzvaot,
Tzvaot,
you create
you
day and
create day
night,
and night,
rolling light
rolling
away
light
from
away from
darkness,
darkness, and
darkness away
darkness
from
away
light.
from light.
Eternal
Eternal
God,
God,
your
your
sovereignty shall
sovereignty
forever
shall
embrace
forever
us.
embrace us.
Praise
Praise
you,
to you,
Adonai, for each
Adonai, for
evening's
each
dusk.
evening's dusk.
Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uven laila. Adonai tzvaot shemo, el chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu li'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, amari v'aravi. Amen. Okay, moving along. Let's turn to the Shema on page 30. Cover the eyes. Shema Yisroel Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Uncover the eyes. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Moed. Let's read the English paragraph. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might.
And
And
these
these
words
words which I command you this day, you
say
shall
you
take
shall
to heart.
take to heart.
Teach them
Teach them
diligently to your
diligently to your
children.
children.
Recite them at
Recite
home and
them at home
away,
and away,
night and
night
day.
and day.
Bind them as a
Bind them
sign
as a
upon your
sign upon your
hand,
hand,
and as a
and as a
reminder above
reminder
your
above
eyes.
your eyes.
Inscribe them
Inscribe them
upon the
upon the
doorposts of your
doorposts of
homes
your
and
homes
upon
and
your
upon your
gates.
gates.
Moving on to the Milchamocha on page 32. Milchamocha Lohelim Adonai Milchamocha Nedor Bakodesh Norat Hilot Hosei Malchut Harovanecha Bokayam Lifnei Moshe Seili Anu V'Amru Adonai Imlo Yolam Moed V'Nemar Yifada Adonai et Yaakov U'Gialo Miad Chazak Mimenu Baruch Atah Adonai Koal Yisrael. Amen. All right, we'll turn now, please, to page 33. This is the paragraph for the Cholim. I regret not having a list. I thought I had a list. I don't know if it was emailed or texted. It might have been texted. I thought it was texted. All right. Well, tonight the Cholim include our dear friend Paul Dobbs. I called him this past week and had a lovely conversation with him. Sure. And I thought I would look in the email. All right. Any other names?
Vincent Patricia Massey.
Refuah Shalema.
Jeffrey Stern,
Refuah Shalema.
Sheila Bergman, Laura Duran.
Shalema. Refuah Shalema. Yes. Sherry, you had some more names? Thank you, Paul.
Jim Jim and
Before
Marie
Shlema.
Shuma.
Before Shlema.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Anyone else? Any other names? Oh, Marky Lackman, Refuah Shlema. Roseanne's not in the room, but I know she'd like to mention me to mention him. Okay. And I tell you what, I'll read the paragraph, and if anyone comes up with a name following, we can add them. No. Help us, Adonai, to lie down in peace, and awaken us again, our sovereign, to life. Spread over us your shelter of peace. Guide us with your good counsel. Save us because of your mercy. Shield us from enemies and pestilence, from starvation, sword, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, O God, who watches over us and delivers us. Grant us a gracious and merciful ruler. Guard our coming and our going. Grant us life and peace now and always. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Praise you, Adonai, who spreads the shelter of peace over us, over all his people Israel, over Jerusalem and the entire world. Ufros aleinu, sukat shlomecha, baruch atah Adonai, aporei sukat shalom, aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisroel, v'al Yerushalayim, v'al kol haolam kulo. Amen. And the Vishamru on page 34. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et Shabbat et Shabbat Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et Shabbat et Shabbat Einu vein b'nei Yisrael oti liolam oti liolam oti liolam Ishamru b'nei Yisrael et Shabbat Lasot et Shabbat Lidorotam Beritolam B'sheshet Yomim Asa Adonai et Hashamayim V'et ha'aretz Yishamru b'nei Yisrael et Hashabbat Lasot et Hashabbat Lidorotam Beritolam Bayom Hashvi Shavat Vainafash Shavat Vaina Ishamru b'nei Yisrael et Hashabbat Lasot et Hashabbat Lidorotam Beritolam. Please rise, have Kaddish, Yitgadal, V'yitkadash, Shemei Rabbah, Amen. Yalma divrach Yerute, V'yamlich malchute, B'chaye, Chon uvyo, Bechon, Uvchaye, Techol Beit Yisroel, Gala, Ubizman Karif, Amen. Shmei Rabba Mevorach, Yelam Lial Mehol Maya, Itborach, V'yishtabach, Itboar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh, V'yitada, V'yitalech, V'yitalal, Shemei Kodesha Brichu, Liela, Min Kol Birchata, V'shirata, Tushbechata Lemota Damiran Yalama Emeru. Amen. Yamida, pages 35b to 38. When you're done, you may be seated.
Keep falling off.
Oh, Judy said she wasn't going to be there tonight.
What the- Are you watching?
Rabbi, you're muted.
Not everything the rabbi says is necessarily for publicity. Okay, page 38. We're going very nicely. Let's do a piece of Shalom Rav. This is an old Debbie Friedman tune. I'm sure it's still very popular in various reform and conservative temples. Shalom Rav, Al Yisroel Amcha, Tasim Liolam. Shalom Rav, Al Yisroel Amcha, Tasim Liolam. Ki atahu melech adom lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adom lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisroel amcha tasim liolam. Shalom Rav al Yisroel amcha tasim liolam. V'tov b'yadecha livarech et amcha Yisroel b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisroel amcha tasim liolam. Shalom Rav al Yisroel amcha tasim liolam. Tasim liolam. Nice piece there. All right, let's read the English translation on page 47, the top left-hand corner. Give you a chance to get that. The heavens and the earth and all they contained were completed. On the seventh day, God finished the work he had been doing and ceased on the seventh day from all the work that he had done. And God blessed the seventh day and called it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work of creation. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elokei avotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Ha'el hagadol hagibor v'hanora, El Elyon konei shamayim v'haaretz. This particular paragraph at the bottom of 47 is a précis, that is a summary of the Amidah we just did. And the question is, why is it added? Because if somebody, God forbid, came to shul late, God forbid, and they were going to be all alone in the shul after the rabbi left, after the shamas left, after all the balabatim, the congregants left, what would happen? Oh, something terrible could happen, because an empty shul could have ghosts. Now, I've never believed that. That to me is so much tripe, because a shul is a holy place, and any ghost that's going to come into a shul has obviously got to be a benevolent spirit. You don't get wolfmen or werewolves or vampires in a shul. just wouldn't work. In any case, if you had vampires in a shul, it's well known. This is in Joshua Trachtenberg's great work, Jewish Magic and Superstition. If it's Shabbos morning now, okay, forget Friday night. If it's Shabbos morning and they get up to the Torah and they make the Mishaberach, the blessing over the Torah for everyone who's, God forbid, sick, and you hear the name of a certain person mentioned among the cholim, the people who are not well, and you know that this person is a vampire, you shouldn't say Amen. See, aren't you glad you came to shul? You get all this useful information. I haven't got, there was a movie a million years ago. Maybe Paul saw it. Paul's our expert on old movies. It's called The Fearless Vampire Killers, and it dealt with a Jewish vampire. Did you see that one, Paul?
Never heard of it.
Okay, well, it was a blockbuster in 2 blocks. I don't
Was
know.
he kosher?
So, well, that's the thing. How do you eliminate a Jewish vampire? You can't use a cross. If you hold up a cross to a Jewish vampire, he'll go to Salem, boy, and it wouldn't have any effect. Maybe it would be a 6-pointed Jewish star. I don't know.
Gotta hit him with a latke.
Say again?
You gotta
Hit
hit
him
him
with
with
a
a
latke?
latke.
With a latka. You said latka.
A latke.
A latka. Well, it depends on
need
how
it.
heavy it is.
I don't eat
All
food.
right.
Some latkes are pretty hard.
That's true. That's very true. I like the burnt ones. I understand that Rita likes the burnt ones too. Okay, I'm going to do the full Kaddish, and then we'll do the Kiddush. There's the Kiddush cup. Okay. Yitkadav Yikadashem Rabba Amen. Yalmad Yivarach Erutev Yamliach Machute. Echai Echon of Yimechon of Achai Echol Beit Yisrael. Bagalov is man Karivim Ru Amen.
Amen.
Yehish me Rabba Mevorach. Liolam Lio Meol Maya. Yitbarach. Yitbarach Vishtabach Vipar Vitrumam Vitase. Itadar Vitale Vitalal. Shemeda Kudisha Brichu. Yelam in Kol Berchata Vishirata. Tushbachata V'nachmata. Damiran Bialmadim Ru Amen. Kabal Sloton Uvauton. Dechoy Yisrael. Kadam Ovuhon Divishmaya Vimru Amen. Yehi Shalom Rabba Midishmaya. Chaim Alim Yisrael Vimru Amen. Who said Shalom Bimroma. Who yas Shalom Aleinu. V'al Kol Yisrael.
Vimru. Vimru. Amen.
Yas Shalom. Yas Shalom. Shalom Aleinu. V'al Kol Yisrael. Yas Shalom. Yas Shalom. Shalom Aleinu. V'al Kol Yisrael. V'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel. Imru
Amen.
And when I say Shalom al Yisrael, I mean they could use some Shalom over there, honestly. All right, please charge your cups. I'm going to get my becher, and we'll make a nice Kiddush. All right. And if you're in the neighborhood tomorrow, you should join us because we're also going to have a nice Kiddush. Is there any story you can tell about your becher, about your particular wine cup? Does it have a history? No? Oh, well. Well, this was Tyler's. Tyler was bat mitzvah. Let me look. May 24, 1997. Oh, that's you, Bethy. Oh, it's either done or not done. All right, let's do this. Savri mornan vrabanan vrabatai. Baruch atah Adonai. Eloheinu melech olam. Ore pri hagofen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, asher
Kedishanu
v'tzavanu, v'shabbat kadsho yavam, lanu, zikaron l'maseh bereshit, v'yom techila, l'mikrai kodesh, l'zecher, l'tziat
Mitzrayim.
at Mitzrayim. Anu Vacharta Yotanu Kidashta Mikol Hoamim Shabbat kachicha ava uvra so
Son in
altan
Atanu,
Baruch atah
Kata
Adonai
Adonai,
Ikadesh
Ish
Shabbat. Amen.
Amen.
I am the Shalom of Simchas. Very nice. Also, in terms of drinking wine, I wanted to share with you, I saw online that this is the 125th anniversary of the birth of Ernest Hemingway. And so in Key West, a town in which the Hemingways owned a home, it's still standing. They give tours. And he would get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. He would go to the carriage house, which was the building right behind the main house, and he had a catwalk built of very rickety cast iron, and he would hold his cup in one hand and carefully walk the catwalk. Then he would go into his workshop, and he would sit and he would write from 6 a.m. till about 2 in the afternoon. Then he would walk back along the catwalk to the main house, put his cup in the sink. I'll bet you this guy never even spritzed water into the mug. And he wasn't the neatest fellow. And then he went down 2 blocks to Sloppy Joe's bar, and he proceeded to get drunk. Now, let me ask you, if you've been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and you have a history of it in your family, is it a good idea, and this is long before any of the anti-bipolar disorder medications, do you think it's a good idea to self-medicate with large amounts of alcohol? No, it's not. But what happened is, oh gosh, what happened was they had a contest in Key West for the man who most resembles Ernest Hemingway. And I say that is strictly malarkey. It is very easy to resemble Ernest Hemingway. In a certain light, I could resemble Ernest Hemingway with the beardle. But the important thing is, can you write like Ernest Hemingway? That to me is the ultimate challenge. But anyway.
And can you raise 6-toed cats like Ernest Hemingway?
Yes, I love those cats. Really.
I heard that he actually entered himself in one of these contests, you know, who looks more like Ernest Hemingway, and he lost.
And he looked.
That's funny.
It serves him right.
Serves
What
him
a
right.
thing to do. Should give the ordinary mortals a chance.
Well, he wrote better drunk than most writers write cold sober.
That is true. And no, he was a very careful writer. He eliminated completely the adjectives. He did verbs and nouns and pronouns. That was it. Wonderful stuff. He didn't always hit it out of the park. I think the Old Man in the Sea is like Dr. Seuss writing Hemingway. But, well, whatever. It's a matter of taste. I still think he's the best. He's number one. Page 51, we have the Aleinu. Somebody should open the ark, which we don't have. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol la'teinu yotzer bereshit asanu goye haratzot Ilo samanu yimishbechot adama Elo sam elkeinu kahem Igor aleinu Ifol hamunam
Anachnu korim
Melech Malchei Hamlachim Hakadosh Baruch Hu Shehu Noteh Shamayim V'Yoser Haaretz U'Moshav Yikaro B'Shamayim Mimal U'Shchinatu Zo B'Gavhei Miromim Hu Eloheinu Einod Emet Malkeinu Echta Sulato Akatu B'Torato B'Adatayim Shevota El Bavdecha Ki Adonai Hu Elohim B'Shamayim B'Mal V'Al Haaretz
Haya Adonai Melech Al Kol Haaretz
Hayom Hahu Hayom Adonai Echad. Ushemo Echad. Ushemo Echad. Send him to me. Could I hold him for the Adon Olam? All right, any announcements? Do we have announcements? I wanted to say on behalf of my family that, oh, the mourner's cottage. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba, amen.
Amen.
Yalma divrach hirute v'yamlich machute. B'chaye chon v'yimei chon, v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru, amen. Hishmei rabba mivorach v'yolam u'meil ma'il.
Yeah.
Yiborach, Shabbat, Ar v'tromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, Shemei dekudesha b'richu, V'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata b'nechamata, miran bi'alma v'yimru, amen. Yehei shalom rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru, amen.
Amen.
Ose shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, Tevel, v'yimru.
Amen.
Right. Do we have announcements? The
Well,
only announcement I
Peter?
have
no,
is that my dog has a cute face, and also he'd like to see some other dogs. But anybody else got a dog, a cat,
yeah, she's
a
with her
gerbil,
mama on the other side of the house.
vole? You got a
He's
vole?
too heavy for me, Rabbi.
Oh yeah, I know. That's good old Radar.
How's
Yes,
Kirby
indeed.
doing in
God
his new
bless him.
house?
Oh, he
Great balance.
wanders around and around. He's not, but he's got about 5 or 6 beds in his house, so he's pretty well set. Okay. All right. We'll finish up. Oh, anyway, so tomorrow is a solemn but joyful occasion. We're commemorating the life of our dear niece, Jill Heather Levy Morris, and our family will be gathering. And as I understand it, we're not going to have that many outsiders. It's just immediate family. And that's about it. So
Rabbi, we in
we'll
the
finish-
chapel or the sanctuary?
we're going to be in the big room. Yes,
Okay,
we'll be in
okay.
the sanctuary. God, what, sweetie? The plaque. There's a plaque in her memory.
Right.
To the
okay.
right or the left of the bima?
He wants to go.
As you're looking at the bima, it's on the left. The family donated, so that's very nice. My sister and brother-in-law did. Okay. Anything else? Any other announcements? Paul, since you're married to the announcements, do you have an announcement? You can announce anything you like, anything. Really.
Whatever.
Say something. Birthdays, simchas.
Okay, keep it going.
I'm better off not saying too much.
Okay, this is the anti-announcement portion of the service.
We'll be back before.
All right. We'll finish up with the Adon Olam. Let's see. Oh gosh, what do you suggest? Anybody have a suggestion?
Regular one.
I knew that if I waited long enough, that would happen. Okay, only for you, sweetie. Here we go. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'ed Nasa V'chetzo Kol Hazai Melech Shimoni Ovi Al Hare Kichlotach Levado Yimloch Nora Vehu Haya Vehu Hopeh Vehu Yeh V'tifar Vehu Echad V'yein Sheni Le'achshilo Le'achbira V'li Reshit V'li Tachlit V'lo Haoz V'hamid Eli, V'chai Goali, V'tzur Chavli, V'yet Zahara, V'hu Nisei Umanosli, V'nat Kosi, V'yom V'yahado, Afkid Ruchi, V'yet Ishan, V'yahira, V'yimruchi, Yeviati Adonai li Elohim. The falsetto doesn't always work, but we'll try Yivarechecha. Put my friend
What?
down here on terracotta. We'll see. All right, please rise for the closing benediction. Thank you all for joining our service. Really, I think that we have fulfilled my request that we try to look like more people. We certainly sang like more people. That was a big, strong davening. Thank you so much. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Yo'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May the Lord turn his face unto you and grant you peace. We'll say Amen. Shabbat
Amen.
shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat,
Shabbat,
Shabbat
Shabbat,
shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat
Shabbat,
shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom.
Night, everybody.
Thank you so much. Thanks to Doreen,
Thank
our
you. See you tomorrow, you
ever-faithful
guys. Good job.
technological
Shabbat
advisor.
shalom.